You do what you got to do. You come online, and now you're here. How unbelievably crazy is that? Welcome to another edition of X-Feed. My name's the Shiller, Steve Shill. Sideburns. That was one of the things in high school. I don't know why I ended up choosing to go that route, but I grew out like facial hair. And I remember I was on the rugby team. I was the hooker. Just throwing that out there. And the coach was like, "You sure you want to have sideburns as the name on the back of your jacket?" And I was like, hell yeah. Yo, Shilvers, your name's Steve as well. Yo, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, we got the Shilvers in the house. We got Shillerverse here. We're both named Steve. For anybody that's here catching the alpha early, we do have an interview coming where you can see both of us in the screen at the same time. That's coming up. I just need to get around to editing that, so that'll be out. But thanks for being here, boss. Hope you're doing well. So again, we're going over NFT news. We're going to talk a little bit about CryptoPunks here as well, and it's going to be good. Listen, I'm going to try to zoom in the microphone. Or I was going to say zoom in the microphone here. We're going to do this. Is that better or worse? I need to like lean back so my face is still like in the key here. But yeah, both Shillers and both Steve. How unbelievable is that? Is that right or is that weird? I don't know. All right. So Garga said the team is focused on two main things in today's Other Side Discord hangout. So quick thing regarding Bored Apes, Other Side, all that kind of stuff. We've been hinted at. And there was actually a deleted tweet as of yesterday. I don't like this. I'm moving this back out. It's too zoomed in. Son of a gun. Is that right? Is that worse? Is that better? Nah, wrong way. Hold on. Hold on, wrong. That's not doing anything now. What are we doing? Oh, okay, now we're hella far out. Nope. There we go. Rough start. Pretend that didn't happen. Okay. So to recap, there was an announcement the other day between let me rephrase. The original tweet's still there from Garga. Hold on. That's not the quote tweet from... This is good. We're setting this up. Shill versus assist. Okay, dude. What in the hell? Hold on. I typed in the wrong thing. Original tweet is still from Garga. Pretend that didn't happen. Okay. I'm going to bring this up. So we highlighted this yesterday, but we didn't put it in the same light because we didn't have the quote tweet at the time. But the TLDR and Super Bowl, what's going on? It's all about think now. I am doing my best Canadian act. Hey, hell yeah, brother. I'm really good at like starting the sentence and then just like not finishing it. Okay, concentrate. The other day, there was a massive announcement between Altered State Machine and 6079, who's also connected to the Wire Network, and these other conglomerates that are connected to Yuga. Now, Yuga is a powerhouse. They've talked about how they still have hundreds of millions in funding, and they're basically more set than anyone within the space. So the expectations are incredibly high. And of course, when you have money, you try to look for the people that create the best things that are out there. Now, we talk about the Altered State Machine and 0679. These are two companies that have been building out AI technology and are, quote unquote, at the forefront of it, especially connecting to the crypto landscape. So this merger happened, and there was another space today that also highlighted how Futureverse's tech is way better than basically everybody else's. It was a very bullish call. If anybody hadn't listened to that Twitter space, highly recommend. Now, yesterday, there was a post from Mikey, who's a part of this new Think protocol of the merger, and he tweeted a root. We love root. And then it was like an arrow going over to a tree of like the roots growing. And now he's been doing this for basically every single... Yeah. If you're watching that video, what the Shillverse is putting there. He's been doing this on every single thing within the space that he's associated with, saying like, the let us grow kind of deal. And so that tweet got deleted yesterday because everybody was reminded that, Wire Network, it's part of the 6079, is partnered with Yuga. And it feels like they're trying to keep this like under wraps for a big unveil at some point. And the deleted tweet basically assumes as such. So when we look at we're like, okay, so we have an image that can now be done in an altered state. Now, this isn't my tweet. That's not my phrasing. I saw somebody on the timeline say this yesterday. I don't know who to give credit to, but I was like, damn, that's actually a great thing because, again, it's an altered state of what this is to the 3D realm. So I'm like, damn. It seems like something's cooking on that front. And so the conversation around other side, everything within the metaverse, if all of these things are connected, So Garga says we're focused on two main things. The main central hub of Nexus, which is the portal of all kinds of different worlds. Some game modes that we are making ourselves, like Dragon and others that ODK builders are building. A lot of range here, from hangout spots to podcasting spaces. Okay, imagine we do that in the metaverse. Etc. To more social type minigames like the poker mode we debuted to a small number of full-fledged game modes like Dragon. There's a meta narrative to other side in the Nexus. Nexus is the place where chaos and creation collide, but that's what you see Blue being pulled between the second other side BC trailer. Player progression is super important even to a metaverse platform, but we have plans for that. Okay. So not a whole lot necessarily within that, except for the fact of, well, if all these things are partnered, everything that comes out of Garga regarding other side is something that we need to pay attention to. True. All right, guys. So I'm going to ask, right? I don't ask you guys for a whole lot, but if any of you are holding on to a zombie CryptoPunk, you don't want any more and you want to pass it my way, let me know, brother. Holy shit, Docky Mushrooms. $998,000 bid. This is a bid, right? Person hasn't even accepted this, but 300 ETH. So the question you may ask is, well, what are zombie CryptoPunks going for? Well, there's 6 for sale, and the lowest ask is 450 ETH or 1.49 million. So listen, a little bit of a difference comparatively to that bid, but either way, we're seeing some big players coming out on the woodworks for some of those Grail CryptoPunks, which is something that I'm really curious about, is when we really see Grails take back over. I think we kind of killed them based off of the point system across the various NFT marketplaces, but will they come back? Hopefully. Yo, LV50, what's going on? You got the dot root over there. Listen, we got to put the root. We got to put the tree. Yo, listen, it's crazy out here. Zombie root punk's better, in my opinion. Yo, true. So this is kind of funny from Zero, which is talking about... So... For anybody that didn't see the other day, there was this fake announcement, right? We love fake news. And somebody posted that CryptoPunks were in the midst of getting acquired. Why this ended up taking off, I'm not really sure. From my understanding, there was a person named Palace, who I've actually played League of Legends with. Palace, if you happen to be watching what's going on, that originally posted this, and it was a meme, clickbait, haha. And there was another bigger account, whale.mocha, who... for some reason, put this long, lengthy, I've been talking to these sources, and I feel comfortable enough with saying this, that the CryptoPunks are in the process of getting sold. Market goes nuts. Apparently, it's really bullish if Yuga doesn't own CryptoPunks anymore, even though we don't know who the new buyer is, and Garga has to squash the rumors. But if you're out there with a ton of capital and you're an NFT trader, just being like, hold on, I want to order DoorDash later, somebody went to work. So within a span of 24 hours, CryptoPunks 8619, which is this right here, changed hands 3 times. The original owner sold it for 40 ETH. Okay, not bad. And the buyer wasted no time, flipping it almost immediately for 47.89 ETH. So again, if you're working with a ton of capital, listen, you just got to get some fake news going around, some CryptoPunks, you can make 7.89 ETH. How unbelievable. And then it sold again for 54 ETH. So we went from 40 to 47.89 to 54. A whopping 14 ETH or $50,000 difference the initial owner could have made if he knew the markets were better, or she. 50 grand. If only we had that much capital. True. However, we did see a hooded CryptoPunk, not too shabby, for $502,000 or 150 ETH. So this came out yesterday, or excuse me, hold on. Was this morning? No, this was yesterday, later in the day yesterday. And the Bitwise CEO, Hunter Horsley to be more precise, says, in quotes, "We just provided some information for a nation state asking about Bitcoin ETFs, considering moving some exposure from foreign currency government bonds in a BTC." Now, listen, we got all the rumors of things going around here and there. We got this U.S. Senator yesterday saying the markets might be going crazy, but keep your head on there, pal. And you're like, holy smokes, it's my first cycle. What are we doing? Right? Craziness. But if this is true, and again, Bitwise, pretty big player, it's 10 billion plus client assets. Listen, that's respectable. Wag me. True. Okay, AIXBT, 20 strategic Bitcoin reserve bills incoming across U.S. states. Texas senator filed first one today. Oklahoma next in line, and Bitcoin is at $100,000. Very interesting perspective. Now, got to remind you, remember like 2-3 days ago, market absolutely took a dumper and we were like, oh no, is it over? And we were like, nah, we're good. And then we went rocketing back up. But anyway, remember these short moves, kind of crazy. And maybe we'll see a bigger one at some point, but we've had a lot of chop over the last little bit. Okay, so Switch, not to be confused with the Nintendo Switch, says if no token generating event on Abstract mainnet, just meaning if there's no token when Abstract launches, I predict a few disappointed farmers will dump penguins, resulting in a brief drop on the floor that I'll take advantage of. What's a good way to bet on chain what is a good way to bet on chain pre token generating event? The top meme on that chain, quick Abstract success could send Pengu nuclear. So this is an interesting perspective because as someone who's been involved with a few new chains, some a little bit more than others, but I think that there is a huge excitement around some of them, and it's curious how that pertains. And for Abstract, there's a lot of talk about the applications that are coming, people are going to want to use, and it's going to be better than everything else. Now, when we look at ApeChain when it first came out, I was incessantly negative around the fact that it just felt like everything that was coming out was a copy of, they were literally copies of just whatever NFTs were out there. They had a dev team that were able to do that. And it was like, damn, what exactly is going on that front? Now, with the Root Network, which a lot of you guys probably are aware with as well, there was a couple collections that came out, but there wasn't like a whole lot of applications or whatnot. And you hear about how they had an ecosystem dev fund, and there's a lot of people that are still working with it. But it's like, for a new chain, ApeChain had like 1 or 2 applications when it first came out, kind of similar with Root Network. And then when we look at Abstract, I'm like, these guys are touting that like the best ever is coming on there. And I'm like, holy smokes, like maybe that's totally true. But it's interesting when we compare the others, we're like, I don't know. Now, with that said, again, when we compare it to Blast as well, that kind of turned into a point farming thing where almost everything on Blast was more about DeFi protocols of sorts, where we saw a lot of different ones actually shut down after a while, but people were using everything for a point system. So does Abstract come out with the point system? Do they just think people will organically use it? Very curious how that rolls out. Now, on the topic of Abstract, the Vibes TCG, which is based off Pudgy Penguins, they said a huge announcement today at 5. Well, look at that. We moved ahead in time, and we can find out what exactly that is. Looks like they are announcing the Vibes Set 2 Legends of the Lils. So now they are integrating the Lil Pudgy Penguins into their game, and it's cool to see that they are taking a little bit of a nod to that secondary collection. All right, guys, why does Sotheby's keep doing like NFT auctions? It just feels like not the place at all. So they're doing these one-of-one rookie debut moments, okay? So we got Bub Carrington, going on Bub, Kaishawn George, very nice, Jalen Wells, Ryan Dunn, and more. Now, I don't know. I mean, part of this is like, okay, cool, we have the one-of-ones. It's trying to get a bigger bid. Feels a little bit weird that this isn't just like on the Top Shot platform itself and it's going through Sotheby's. Does this matter? I'm not educated enough to know about like these certain players if they would garner a lot of demand, but the starting bid is $500 for the two on the right and then $400 for the one on the left. People can go out and spend that. I mean, for a Top Shot one of one, probably. Curious how much higher that it goes beyond that though. Now, talking of collectibles, as we've mentioned, if you haven't seen, look at this absolute beauty. It's a 1994 Marvel's masterpiece, Hulk Hollow Foil Silver. And then you realize on the back, it's like there's 4 of 10. There's 4 of 10. But either way, so we got the collectible card. As I've said, it's $20, which is like the same price of grading it. And I'm like, damn, these collectibles are fun. So I've been watching and seeing some of the things that have come out. These ones are like the 1992, but I always just keep coming back to what kind of things are we buying right now that are going to feel super nostalgic a couple years down the line. Now, again, granted, 92 compared to like 2025, that's a respectable amount of time, but still always thinking ahead. And then there's some other ones from 92 as well. And Doctor Strange, which I watched Spider-Man No Way Home. think it was the title of it. Not bad, not bad, not bad. You know what I mean? Not bad. Okay, so when you go online, right, which we do all the time, very fun online, everything. You have access to almost whatever you need. And on X, you can find people that specialize in different collections, networks, etc. And so I saw this regarding the Ronin network, and I have to totally admit that I've not really paid attention to Ronin too much. I held a Cybercon before. I played a lot of the Forgotten Runes beta test game, and I'm like, okay, it's pretty big. But coming from Singing Scheme, there was a CanStar World NFT that I guess had a sale and reveal that was 6,000 RON, which is a pretty big bit. Sabona Sanga, pre-sale reaching 750,000 RON. Okay. And the Rooniverse Crash game. So again, we talked about that. I think it's actually a really fun game, so curious to see what the reception is as that continues out here. But for the original here, 52,000 for this. I don't exactly know what it is. I'm just trying to like click through here to give like an idea. But this goes to show that there's so many things going on right now that you really have to pick and choose what you're interested in. Now, if this collection was on ETH, I mean, I don't know how massive it would do, but I mean, $150,000 floor, what is this? The #1 most voted community collection on Ronin CanStar is the Ultimate Cosmic Good Boy. A legendary fusion between a celestial being and a doggo, a uniquely star-shaped backside. It's still up for debate whether he's a star dog or a dog star. Okay. He's obsessed with kibble and has a quirky habit of drooling over blockchain tokens before burying them like he's hodling for the next bull run. CanStar can bend reality at will, usually spreading wholesome, tail-wagging vibes. But every now and then, the good boy flips the script and brings some playful chaos just for the woofs and giggles. Gated, what are we doing? Curious how one of these sold for like 6,000 RON. That's insane. So the Zebong Saga. Listen, we got a couple of birds in the background. The Web3 cockfighting game on Ronin Network. What are we doing? I feel like, so what was there was like a chicken thing on ETH. It was also on Polygon. Chicken Derby. You guys remember Chicken Derby? Now we're going way back. I don't know if that's still around, but crazy to see these things. Okay, so MK having a little bit of shade here at some of the big founders within the space. Look at this. You know the sad part of Pudgy Penguin's success? I don't know any. True. The lack of support from ETH Foundation and Vitalik Buterin. Okay. The sad part about Pudgy Penguin's success is the lack of support from the ETH Foundation and Vitalik Buterin. Now, I'm going to plead ignorance here on this because, is this in reference to the fact that we have people that are supporting other, so is the ETH Foundation supporting other builders within the space in a much more visible nature? Does it matter if they're doing that? I can't say off the top of my head, oh yeah, I remember getting into a certain NFT or this crypto project and the ETH Foundation supported it. There's nothing there. Even for Vitalik, I don't think he's been in any NFTs except for Stoner Cats that I remember. And again, you can watch the full episodes of Stoner Cats. They've now put a supercut on YouTube because they took the whole series down. It's so crazy to see so much love and support from Solana and their co-founder still rocking Pudgy Penguin NFTs, or PFPs, excuse me. But yes, okay, so from this, when you compare and contrast, listen, when you compare and contrast, I'm like, okay, so Solana and other people that are associated with that ecosystem going out, being active in the NFT space, changing their profile picture to Pudgy Penguins. Okay, from that perspective, sure, we can say, all right, why isn't there support elsewhere? Totally understand that. But I don't think it matters that much. Not to take away from the Solana people doing that, because I think it's awesome, but I don't think you go around and you say screw you ETH Foundation and screw you Vitalik. It's just odd. Divine Hypnotoad, Chicken Derby Streams and Smokers. Damn, going way back. Yo, DJ McEnergy, what's going on? Yo, Roar, what's going on? What would you say about Faraway and Jeff? Do you know anything about it? So I'm going to be totally honest with you. I remember when Jeff launched. I know that it was launched on base. You had to have a heavy metal or some other assets that were around there. I didn't get any, and I know that the price was pretty good at the time, but I don't have any updates or know what the hell is going on that front. So apologies. Shilvers, chain founders don't need to support builders. Great if they do, but there's no responsibility in my opinion. Yeah. I kind of agreement in that. Sorry, I am in agreement with that. Yo, Ben, good to see you again. What's going on? Stoner Cats, what a throwback. Listen, I mean, we can genuinely go on right now. Let me bring bring it up as an example. Just to prove you guys, give you maybe a little something to do later tonight if you're interested, is like these are all like just like the literal supercuts that are posted. They even have the holiday special in here. So this was a collection by Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher,
Sorry, Miss Stoner.
Oh, it's
Vitalik
fine.
Buterin, Chris
Material
Rock.
Possessions are a social construct. Don't do it. Don't. Such a little diva. Fine, we can share. Now, where did I put that little white? Well, I almost had a senior moment. Sorry, thief. This isn't catnip. Damn, I just went from Martha to Snoop. I caught some good shit. This.
Christ, somebody open a window. It smells like a fart of 1,000
So that's Mila.
Wasn't me. Yep, definitely not my brand.
What is your brand? Gas station sushi?
So maybe we'll do a stream where we go and watch that entire thing. But again, that's like 2 minutes of the 40 minutes. Like they've clammed together all of the different episodes. So if you guys are wanting to see that, 3.4 million views, kind of insane. Now, obviously, for anybody that doesn't know, there was like this SNC involvement where they got sued for it. I mean, they refunded gas. They refunded there was a lot of things that they did right, and they actually produced the product. So it's kind of weird about everything that happened, but cool to see that they did get that amount of views for that, and would encourage you guys to go and watch out that series because again, it is pretty good. And there's cameos from like Gary Vee, and he's like a raccoon in it. It's like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, so the artifact shoes. Listen, I don't know. We've talked about like liking to wear the tall shoes, but what in the hell is this? Like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like that just looks super weird. Like okay, sure, you're like up a little bit. But it just, I don't know. It feels like that doesn't actually fit your foot. Okay, so listen, we got to have a little bit of a talk because I saw this on my timeline and I was like, I'm gonna watch Star Wars. Dun, dun, dun. Right, so that's IP infringement, all that kind of crazy stuff. But imagine for a second that you guys are watching Star Wars and getting paid for it. How often would you watch it? Well, probably a lot because you like it. But eventually, you're like, okay, keep that thought in your back of your head. Let's go through the tweet. Proof of attention will revolutionize entertainment brands, the way content is developed and consumed. NFTs and on-chain loops turn interaction into a value multiplier for things you're already doing. Think Kaido meets gamified content loops and mementos. You'll be able to reward active fans and parents in a targeted way. You watched all 10 episodes of their first 48 hours. You interacted with these Instagram videos. School's about to start. The digital memento allows Tim to claim a limited backpack. Ecosystems with compounding returns on lots of ways to interact and consume will foster parabolic brand network effect. Think bigger. Oh, well, listen, hold on a minute there. Hey, listen, who out there has heard Think Bigger before? Oh, right, you have. True. So is this like a hint at this is what's going? And Klain Source is a partner with Futureverse. I don't know. Maybe that's just a funny timing. And they want to throw that in there. But either way, back to the thing that we're focusing on here. Is yes, I agree. I would use an example. I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, so my addiction to Marvel, right. Going back to the screen over here. Hello, love the card, $20, phenomenal. I'd be down to pay more. I'm starting to watch the Marvel series. Like if you have Disney Plus, you can go in. It's got like all the Marvel movies from like this first Captain America video or movie, excuse me. And I'm probably gonna watch all of them. Right? I'm buying the cards. I'm playing Marvel Rivals. I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm not getting rewarded at all. Hell, I'm paying for Disney Plus. I'm paying for the cards, and I'm paying on Marvel Rivals to get the Battle Pass and potentially get a skin. So I'm spending a lot, but holy smokes, I'm consuming all of their content. But if that gets flipped on its head, okay, not bad, not bad. Excited to see what the future looks like. Canada, are you okay? So listen, I don't know why my entire feed is starting to like give me like Canadian news. And so CTV put out this thing saying, reduce your standard of living. Now I'm assuming this is some part of like, you know, economic disaster or things you should do. But like, it's kind of crazy that like the main news source is like, yo, reduce your standard of living. Like that kind of feels bad, doesn't it? One of the biggest mistakes you can make is having too high of a standard of living. Listen, we're trying to live the good life, okay? We're trying to live the good life, but my goodness, holy smokes. And then this other news of the day saying that Health Canada says synthetic red food dye banned by FDA poses no human risk in Canada. Listen, other places are banning it, and then we have the news going out here saying, yo, it's fine. What do we do? And who do we believe? That is the question. Where are the trusted sources? Good. Not. Have you tried just not buying groceries? Listen, Hypnotoad, you're clever. You're a clever devil. All right, listen. Stats, Punk 9059. We highlighted AIXPT, the AI agent that's been taking over the timeline all day, every day. You guys have probably seen it. I think this is hilarious, Punk. No matter how much I post that AIXPT contradicts itself and often makes no sense, the market loves the tech. Agreed. You can talk to it. It'll give you different responses. I remember during the Genesis days when they were like, yo, this is for sure how you unlock it. Then they're like, listen, I might have been wrong on this. Well, somebody said this, and it's funny because it's aggregating all these people's thoughts, but like what's considered true versus fiction, which we go back to the news source a second ago regarding the red food dye. This is the problem, right? We're trying to paint the picture of how you can take a normal news story, but then these AI agents that you think have only factual information and how all of this is screwed. And moral of the story, as Hypnotoad said, we're not buying groceries anymore. True. Okay, my childhood, my adulthood. One thought, maybe two. I grew up on a subset of TV shows, characters, movies, whatever. Pokemon being one of those. Kids nowadays, I have no idea what they watch. But seeing the Pudgy Penguin brand come out and focus on that, similarly to how VFriends is saying, oh, we want to focus on like a younger demographic, which was like one of the only collections that did that in the earlier days of like 2021. It's wild to think about the IP that is being birthed through Web3, that like we were here sitting in this chair. Well, certain collections minted, or we watched them, or we minted them, even if we don't own these collections anymore. It's unbelievable to think that we've technically, probably all of us at some point or another, are playing a huge part in history, even if it's just a little bit. So maybe it's not huge, but a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't understand the tech, but to me, AIXPT seems like an LLM wrapper. Yes, I think so. And listen, McDonald's, Pokemon, we just had McDonald's and Doodles. Now we're getting McDonald's and Pokemon. Nice. Not a bad back-to-back. NFT price action. Doodle's floor price up 10.6% in the last 24 hours, taking the number 7 ranking by market cap. Wow. So Doodle's sitting at $17,000. Again, I minted like 5 of them. Like, holy smokes. Yo, we could, you know how much DoorDash we could order by owning 5 Doodles right now and selling them? Sheesh, that'd be crazy. But either way, love to see these collections are moving. Overall, I mean, Pudgy Penguins are sitting at $80,000, not ETH, goodness gracious. Bored Apes at around 50K. Some of these other collections I'm not really sure about. But Azuki, past 30 days, up 20% off of the token that is coming. All right. So Artifact shut down, but I keep seeing tweets every single day from Artifact of them launching something new. What the hell is actually going on? So I guess they partnered with somebody else who's Zellerfield? Excuse me. I have no idea what that is. I know in Canada we had Zellers back in the day. But apparently these are $250. And at one point, these NFTs were going for like $30,000. So you have a $30,000 NFT. goes to zero because Artifact just says, yeah, we're going to shut down. And then they're going to make you pay $250 for the NFT of that. Yeah, listen. Some people have done Web3 phenomenally. Other ones, not the greatest. All right. I want you to take this one with a grain of salt because, again, could be not true. But it leads to a lot of assumptions of and it's probably true. So Senator Cynthia Loomis, who we highlighted yesterday, saying the market might go crazy, keep your head cool, says FDIC whistleblowers claim the agency is destroying documents related to digital assets. So we have all these questions about why is the crypto regulation so bad? They're getting Wells notices to OpenSea. They're giving it to cyberkongs, and people are trying to do things by the book, but it's like regulation by enforcement. And there's all these kind of shenanigans that are going on. I don't know. Does the market not feel ready for a pop? I'm ready for it. Ripple, United States dollars. Very nice. Let's say we need Canadian dollars on there, but listen, if you know, you know. Hold, buy, and trade with confidence knowing Ripple USD is fully backed to by segregated reserves, available now to swap, trade, and bridge between XRPL and the Root Network. So very excited to see that. And of course, if you're wanting to learn a little bit more about the Root Network, we've been doing a slew of videos. And of course, the one with Shilverse, I do need to edit and get out there, hopefully tomorrow, if not on the weekend, and if not Monday. And if I don't do that, listen, Shilverse, you yell at me and you use my first name, okay? True, and true. Okay, so final good news for you people that are on TikTok. Apparently, the Biden administration will leave it to Trump to implement the TikTok ban, and I don't know. I have a weird feeling that's not going to happen. The amount of people that went out and bought or like downloaded that Red Note TikTok app, it's like actually like a Chinese app. It's kind of crazy. But either way, listen, things are going crazy. I appreciate the hell out of you guys being here. It's going to be it for this edition of XFeed. Shilvers, listen, not a bad name. Not a bad name. Divine Hypnotoad, we are not buying groceries anymore. Keep that in mind. Ben, thank you so much for coming through again. Appreciate you stopping by. Roar, DJ McEnergy, Alia, my Brumalauchi, yo, LV50, thank you so much for coming on through as well. And Super Bowl, not too shabby. Eh? All right, we're a part of history. Thank you for watching. And enjoy Stoner Cats if you guys are going to watch that now. Because, again, 40 minutes. It's a crazy show. All right, peace.